You're a mum, you're a mum, you're a busy mum. Come listen to the Busy Mum podcast. Life hacks and inspiration for the busy modern mum.
Hi and welcome to the Busy Mum podcast. I am your host, Jackie DeCampo. This podcast's sole focus is to interview busy mums and sometimes dads that usually have a business or at the very least a bustling side hustle. We cover areas like why they got into business in the first place, what their greatest lessons are or fear is, and how to overcome that. We talk all things marketing, advertising, systems, processes, cash flow, which is my favorite part, whether they have a product-based business or a service-based business, and all things related to business. And also, we talk about how they manage it with a family life as well. A little bit about me. I'm 38 years old, married to Ben DeCampo. We have 2 daughters. I am a co-founder of Milkman Grooming Co. I host this podcast and I am a mad keen gardener. If you want to share your story, please reach out, or if you're interested in sponsoring an episode, again, please reach out. My packages are very reasonable. My email is thebusymumpodcast, that's M-U-M, podcast @gmail.com. Now let's dive into this bloody fantastic episode. Well, Jane, welcome to the Busy Mum podcast. How are you this morning?
Thanks, Jackie. I'm exceptionally well, thank you.
Yeah, you look pretty good.
Thanks. So I said before, very busy but not bored, so I can't cause problems.
What are you busy doing?
I've been seeing clients all morning, actually. I'm in my studio currently at Pymble. And I have been seeing clients for top-ups and a little bit of PR, and now I've got you, so it's been a great day.
Yes, well, you can definitely use this as PR as well. So you're Jane Simpson Brows. You're like the eyebrow queen of the world.
I'm the eyebrow queen. Yeah, I specialise in cosmetic tattooing, or it's otherwise known as microblading or feather touch. And we tend to, after we've had kids or as we age, we lose our brows. We lose the fantastic structure that they give to our face. Also, I see a lot of people have alopecia and a lot of people who have undergone chemo.
Oh, yes, because when you do chemo, like you even lose your eyelashes, don't you? They all come out, like all your hair on your body, just like you become like hairless, basically.
Yeah, disappears. So I can give them back some eyebrows.
So with the eyebrows, does it hurt? Like the tattoo?
No, it doesn't. Well, it does if you see someone you shouldn't, but no, it doesn't hurt when people see me. So I am trained very well. I'm accredited, and there's not many of us who are accredited in the country, so I'm accredited to do what I do. And also I've done the anaesthetics course. So people have to put an anaesthetic on before they come to me, but I may have a secret little anaesthetic up my sleeve. And people actually fall asleep on the table. They're so relaxed and comfortable.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I know I had my lips done about a year and a bit ago, and I won't do it again. Like, my friend did them for me, and she, like, bless her, she's so lovely, but I didn't realise what I was getting myself in for. And
so that was the tattooing?
No. Just my lips were puffed up. Yeah, puffed up a little bit. I know. Yeah. And I won't do it again, but she put on the gel, like, to numb it, and I just was like, I'm just pulling a face right now. But, like, and it just makes everything so numb and a bit weird. So, don't recommend it.
No, I'm trained to I do brows and eyeliner. I'm also trained to do lips, but I won't do them because it's so painful.
Oh, the tattooing of the lips?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, I know.
I've had it done, and I won't inflict that upon anybody.
Lovely. Thank you, Jane. So let's move on to the first question, shall we?
Sure.
How do you define yourself? We know what your business is and your family life. Explain that a little bit. And also, what apps are you currently using in business that help your day run a bit smoothly? It's quite a loaded question, really.
Yeah, okay. I'll go from the beginning. So I have been doing my current career for the last 4 years. Prior to that, for 20 years, I was in corporate life. So I had a successful career. I, did all what everyone thought was fantastic, all the flying around the world and blah, blah, blah. But I got to the point where I was ready for a change.
Yeah.
And this was a big, bold move because it's very nice having all that money put into your account every month. And then to go out on your own is scary. But I decided that if I didn't do it now, I was never going to do it.
Absolutely.
To control my own destiny. I am much, and the other thing is that my children had grown, so I'd finished schooling them.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you a huge sense of freedom. To all of those of you who are listening to this with little kids, it does happen eventually. But once the children are educated and going on with their own lives, you feel like, okay, now this is time for me. I can do these things. My husband was extremely supportive, very worried because, you know, he likes to focus on the mortgage and the superannuation a lot, but but that's okay. So what apps do I use for business? I run my business on my phone because I have a business background. I think that's very important when you open a business, which sounds crazy, but a lot of people I have found and I've seen around me have a terrific idea, but no one actually wants to buy what they've got. And then they don't have the fundamentals of business behind them. Mm-hmm. So I have, what do I use? Xero and Xero Expenses are on my phone. I use them all the time. Mm-hmm. My banking apps, which might sound basic, but it's very important to know where you're at financially all the time. My booking system, which is called Schedule, but I'm just about to transfer to another one called Infusion or Keep. I do a lot of before and after shots. So I have my camera, obviously, and then I have grid apps, so I can put the before and after shots watermarking. Watermarking. I think they're the main ones that I use and of course it's something basic, but my email, of course.
Yes.
And I also have Google Ads, Google Analytics, and Facebook ads because I check those regularly too. So I will go on and see how my ads are doing or my Google listings are doing 2 or 3 times a day. I don't just set and forget. I come back and review.
Wow. Yeah, because I know with our business we do have Google ads, but we don't find that they're that effective anymore.
No, I agree.
But Facebook ads, on the other hand, are really great, really super great at the moment. Like it's going to change. It always does. It's the evolution of advertising as we know it.
Correct.
And I know I listen a lot to Gary Vaynerchuk, and he always says you have to make yourself a media company. Like you have to always have that kind of mindset that you are the media, you are your own PR, you are, you've got to put yourself out there.
True. And it's exhausting, actually. And Instagram as well. So my whole time I'm thinking, how to post it, how can I get the most out of this? I have that woman who came in to me this morning. I've seen her for the last 4 years. She owns North Shore Mums, and I've been advertising with them since the beginning. I find the mums groups really powerful, and I've advertised with them a lot.
Yeah.
And Rachel has written several articles on me, and she's going to do another one after today too. And those kind of things are invaluable to business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is your target market, isn't it? Right there, like a whole community of them.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So, it was interesting that you said you've got a background in business. Now, why do you think it's important to have at least a little bit of knowledge of business before you jump in?
I think you need to definitely understand finances. When you start a business and maybe after the first year you start to make money, people have seen that money come in and they'll go and spend that money on things, on a car, on whatever. But, there are expenses that come with a business. There's your BAS, your PAYG, and all of those bills can come in and you've got no money then left to pay for it. Advertising, rent, insurances, there's a lot of expenses in all of our businesses. And so you need to know how to handle money. I think it's important that you need to understand just what we were talking about with advertising. Advertising is not, I've spent hours and hours and hours and a lot of money doing courses, speaking with people, working out how I can best utilise my advertising. And it's not just something that you can whack something on Facebook or whack something on Instagram and walk away. You have to understand the demographics. You have to understand all of that information behind who you're targeting and why you're targeting them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also like you did say that you check 3 times a day.
At the moment I do with Google because it's changing a lot. And I'm finding that my organic posts are doing far better than my paid posts. So, for instance, yesterday, and it's because I've got the app. So yesterday I thought, I'm not going to pay Google so much to do this when my organics are doing far better. So I've reduced the budget. And my aim for this year is not to advertise on Google Ads at all. It's just for it all to be done organically.
Yeah, we've actually, I don't want to put it out there because I feel like Google is such a big juggernaut. Like, I don't want to upset the gods at Google.
We don't, Google gods, don't piss them off. Okay?
Don't piss off the Google gods because they will piss you off right back. So, like, we want to spend money with Google, but what we're finding is the ROI isn't there. Plus, they have this thing where, like, you can't budget for the month.
Correct.
It's like we put a limit on it. So, say that limit was $500, and once that's reached, they take the money out of your account. And then they start again. So if you spend that money in 2 days, guess what? Boom, you start again. So it's a little bit unethical, shall I say?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's not real flash.
Yeah. As a business owner, I like to know, okay, I've got X amount of dollars to spend in that given time period, and I'm happy to spend that, right?
Correct.
As long as I'm getting a bit of return and yada, yada, yada. But when it's set up like that, how can you possibly budget
and plan
around that kind of thing? So they really need to look at that, and especially for the small businesses, like the really like startup ones, you can get caught and spend thousands of thousands of dollars and not get that back. And as you say, you got insurances, you got BAS. I just paid out enough for a small car in BAS. It's like it's heart attack material. Like, I'm used to seeing the numbers now, but at the beginning it's like, oh my God, that's like a yearly wage.
And it's terrifying. And a lot of people who come into business don't understand that there are all those expenses behind. And I see a lot of small businesses around me. I mean, what's the figure? It's something like 95% of businesses are still in business after 12 months. 95% of businesses have folded within that first 12 months. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's a huge reason why.
Yeah. You get in trouble with the tax department, and then it's all over Red Rover. So just describe for us a day in the life of you, Jane. Like, what does your typical day look like now that you don't have the kids around? Like, you're like free.
I'm free.
You're free.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm still very involved in their lives.
But you're not doing lunches and stuff like that.
No, I'm not doing activities anymore. So what I do now is I get up and I go to. I'm doing an 8-week yoga Pilates challenge at the moment. I've decided I need to get stronger, so I get up and I go to either Pilates or yoga in the morning early, and then I go home and I'll do all the usual house tidy things and get my life organised, and then I come into work and I start seeing clients, and that's a combination of new clients, people coming back for 12 months touch-ups, or people come in. I offer free consultations, so people can come in and talk to me about what the process is. I draw the brows on them so they can see how they'll look. And as I said before, I spend time every single day on my business as well. So whether that's doing, checking the bank, checking Xero, you know what it's like. There's so much admin with a business. So I make sure that every single day those things are done as well, just so that I don't, once upon a time I used to put one day aside a month to do my Xero, my bookkeeping. And I used to cry at the end of it because it's so boring and soul destroying. So now I just chip away at it during the month, those kind of things. I advertise a lot, as I said before, on the mums groups. So I pay to advertise on those, and those ads run during the week too. So I design the ads, I prep the ads, I test the ads out, and then I put them up on those groups at night.
You are very savvy, I must say. Like, yes, I just wanted to say that. Very tech savvy. Yeah, it's great. So you've got life hacks. You can never be too organised. Right?
Never. That's me though. I don't think you can ever be too organised. My studio, you can't see it at the moment, is organised to a T. Everything is done. My home is entirely organised. I do menu planning. I have everything booked in advance because life is really busy. And I did this with my kids too, when I had kids at home. life was very organised. They would come home. Just the little things like taking their lunch boxes out straight away, washing them, doing the bottles, getting the lunches ready for the next day, making sure the uniforms are all ready, the pin board on the wall or whatever with the activities during the week. Just to be organised, not just for me, but I've got a partner as well, my husband. I've got dogs. And with the kids too, children always like to have routine and know what's going on in their life, and that's very important, I think.
Yeah, I know one of my eldest daughter's teachers from last year always had up the routine of the day, because I think there was quite a few anxious kids in that particular class. They need to know what's going on, whereas other teachers that are very arty and fly by the seat of their pants, just kind of go with the flow during the day.
With it.
Yeah. So, not everyone's like that, so I totally get it. I wish I was more organised. Like, I'm organised to a point, but then I think I do get busy and some of that organisation kind of falls a little bit, but then I notice it and go,
I get that, totally.
Put it back into schedule again. Especially, like, as I was telling you before, my daughter yesterday had a bit of a breakdown, like full-on screaming breakdown, and when stuff like that happens, you lose a couple of hours.
Well, you're gone now. You're lost. And then it's bacon and it's baked beans on toast for dinner because you haven't had the time to cook it.
Because I've been trying to, like, calm down this child.
Placated
and it's just,
child.
It's we'll get through that eventually. I know that. And then they'll move out and I'll be free. So moving on, what is the best advice you've received, Jane?
Business-wise or personally?
Do you have two? Do you have both?
Yeah, my dad told me when I was very little, life is not a dress rehearsal, and it isn't.
No.
And so as I get older, I am really good at practicing gratitude, and I'm getting better at living in the moment. It's difficult to learn, but I'm pretty pleased with how I'm doing that, and it's really important to appreciate what you've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or where you are, even if it's bad, it too shall pass. It shall pass at some point. Best business advice is what I'm living. Is you have to actually know exactly what's going on in the business. Don't leave it to someone else.
Yeah, know your finances, especially. Yes,
especially. I remember years and years ago, Oprah Winfrey said that a check never left her office without her signature on it. And I'm not sure that would happen now because we don't do checks. But
back then.
I quite like that philosophy, and that, it doesn't matter how big the business is, you need to know where your money's going.
Yeah, exactly, because like you can get to the point where there's a lot of transactions on a daily basis. You need to make sure transactions are coming in, like income is coming in, and that not so many expenses are going out that, like, you don't actually make a profit at the end of each day or each week, however you
unless you don't want to pay a whole lot of BAS.
Yeah, I mean, you can work it a little bit, but also, like, you can only spend so much as well, and you kind of run out of stuff to buy.
I know.
Seriously.
What else is there, really?
It's like, oh my goodness. And you have to take it as income and pay the tax. So
I know.
You got to do it. You got to do it. Like, you can only buy so many phones and computers and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need 3 computers. You just need one really good one that works well and loads up whenever you turn it on. Actually, I didn't even turn mine off. Yeah. So and where do you go to get your entertainment? Because I mean, 5 years ago, Netflix kind of really didn't exist, or they were posting out DVDs, and now it's on everyone's television. Where are you going to get your entertainment?
I love Netflix, actually. I also have Amazon Prime. I really love that.
Oh,
I think there's a sensational show on that called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You need to watch that if you haven't watched that yet.
Yeah.
What else? I'll still watch television. I'm an old-fashioned kind of gal like that. I love listening to audiobooks.
Yes, I need to get into audiobooks. I've got to sign up on my phone because I'm buying books, but I'm finding that I'm just not...
You're not reading them.
I'm not getting the time to read them because I get to bed, read for 10 minutes, and then I'm out.
you're asleep.
Yeah.
So audiobooks are fantastic because you can do the housework and listen to them. You can drive and listen to them. You can fly and listen to them. You can lie in bed at night and listen to them. I just love them. And because I'm a voracious reader, but the same as you, I don't have time to sit and read a book. And also there's the wasp in me too that thinks, I should be doing something else. I shouldn't be sitting down reading.
Yeah.
But so it's guilt-free. It's guilt-free reading. No, I absolutely love it. Podcasts.
What's the latest book that you've listened to?
I have just joined. I'm just about to start. It's called An American Marriage. I can't tell you anything about it because I haven't read it as yet, but I decided that one of the things I was going to do this year was join a book club. So I don't know any of these women. I'll be attending it. I like the fact that they're holding it in a bar.
So how did you find this book club?
Facebook.
What?
Yeah, I know. It just kept popping up on my Facebook, and I live on the Upper North Shore in Sydney, and they called themselves the Upper North Shore whatever book club. And I liked the books that they were talking about. I liked the books that they were discussing. And I thought, okay, I'll give you guys a run. So that was just one of the things I'm doing to push myself out of my comfort zone this year.
Yeah, and you're going to meet a lot of new women as well, which
I'm going to meet a lot of new women, which is great, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. I love getting out of my comfort zone, not all the time, but like at least once or twice a month, I want to just kind of push myself a little bit.
Do something.
Because I think it must rewire your brain somehow.
That's why I'm doing this 8-week challenge too with the yoga Pilates. Do you think I want to do it? No, I really don't want to do it. But I had to push myself out of my comfort zone. And even in a week and a half, I'm feeling so much better. It's incredible.
I remember doing a 30-day challenge with Adrienne. She's online. She does yoga, yoga with Adrienne, and she has a 30-day challenge.
Oh, I remember that one.
And I did it for 30 days, and oh my God, I felt so flexible and strong. And I'm like, why did I stop? You know,
why do we stop? Why do we stop doing things that are good for ourselves? We're very bad, women that I see, we're very bad at doing things for ourselves.
Oh yes, yeah, I know. I think that must be wired into us, like at a monkey level.
Yeah,
you know. It must be. It's got to be wired into us because, like, my brain goes, yes, go for pedicures and go for a massage, and then I actually never end up doing it. What am I doing?
I know. I totally agree.
Yeah,
and the cost is not prohibitive for any of those things.
Yeah,
and we work hard during the day, so I don't understand. I don't know whether we're not meant to reward ourselves or whether it's just something that's expected that we're meant to do these things. I don't know why, but we're bad at it. And when my clients come to see me, over and over and over again, I hear them say, it's the first thing I've done for myself in years. It's the best thing I've done for myself in years.
Yeah, okay.
Why are we living at years?
You know,
why do we live at years?
I've got a philosophy for this.
Okay. A theory, my husband would say. Yep.
A theory, yeah. I've got, an idea about it. No, it just popped into my head then. Okay. I'm thinking, okay, so when, like, you're in your early 20s, you kind of don't really do a lot for yourself. You're still trying to find yourself. And then, boom, married, babies. So once you have the babies, it's all about the babies and you always get put to the side, right? Yep. And then it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit over 20 years. So then when your babies leave, and my mum's done this as well, she's now starting to do things for herself because she doesn't have us kids around anymore. Yeah. So I think that's what I think.
My mum is really good at doing things for herself. Like she's really good at it, but she wasn't for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
So I'll just watch her
and copy.
Take inspiration.
So what is your go-to dinner? Are you cooking big meals and freezing them, or do you cook every day, or do you have like a family night where everyone comes over?
Okay, so I used to, when everyone was at home, Sunday was my cooking day, so I would cook and freeze. Now I don't have to do that anymore. We predominantly have really big salads and some form of protein, so whether it's fish or chicken or and yes, every day I cook. I like to cook. I'm a good cook. I like to cook and I like to do it every day. So, but I'm not going to make a big song and dance out of it, but we get a really good dinner every night. But because I'm so organised, it's
You just look at your chart and you go, okay, today is spaghetti bolognese, or tomorrow it's chicken salad.
It's my head chart. So, and you know what? And I know I'm not alone in this. One of the first things I think about when I wake up in the morning is, oh, shit, what's for dinner?
While I'm eating dinner, I think about tomorrow's dinner.
What's tomorrow night's dinner? I know. It's just one of the biggest veins of our existence. So that's, every night I cook. No, I don't cook Friday night. We all go out. We've had it for the last 20-something years. Friday night is our date night, even when the kids were small, because life is extremely busy. And when you have a partner with you, you can go the whole week without talking, except for saying who's going to pick up so-and-so, or what time are we doing this, or what's for dinner, or blah, blah, blah. So we would always have date night on Friday night. It would just be the local Chinese or Thai. It wasn't expensive, but we would sit across the table and we would talk to each other. And some nights we would ban talking about the children so that we could talk about our lives and us, and that's worked extremely well for us.
Yeah.
And we still do that on Friday nights. We'll go out. But often now we go with friends too, but often not. It'll just be the two of us. And it's nothing big or flash, but it's just time to spend time together.
And how long have you been married for?
27 years.
27 years. And you reckon that's the secret to the longevity so far?
Communication, yep. Acceptance, yep. And a sense of humour is really important.
Yes. Oh, Lordy, yes. You got to be able to laugh at yourself and laugh at them.
Oh, God, yeah. Exactly, yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I think...
And we like each other.
Oh, well, that is important.
Which sounds really basic, but a lot of people are married to people they don't really like.
Yeah. They love them, but they just don't like them.
They don't like them.
Yeah. Big difference, isn't there? It's weird.
Massive difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this next question, but I think you've kind of answered a lot of it, but I'll ask it anyway. What is one area of your life you would like to improve?
I'd like to, so there's a couple of answers to this. I'd like to improve it financially, because I would like my husband not to work as much as he is. Mm-hmm. There's an age gap between us, and I think it's time for him to just chill a bit. So I would like to increase my finances so that I could allow him to do that. And then, it's that whole living in the moment thing, and acceptance and gratitude is what I want to keep working on every day as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what is your greatest fear, and how do you deal with it?
Yeah, when I answered that, I remember answering that. Our child died. We had our son Louis had cancer, and he died. Mm-hmm. And that's your greatest fear.
Yes, it is.
And then it comes to reality. And so in our family we have a saying, if we're nervous or worried or fearful about something, we say the worst has happened. So we can basically do anything we want to now, because the worst has happened, and we've survived that as a family and as a couple too.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason why you got into doing what you're doing as well, do you think?
You're so astute, yes. So I was doing all of that, after Louis passed, that whole, you got to live your best life and you can't, blah, 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 blah. And I woke up one morning and I realised you're a hypocrite. You're not living your best life. You're miserable, you're unhappy. And I'm the only one who has the power to change my life. I'm the only one who has the power to do that. And this is one of those, are you ready for a woo-woo story?
Oh, hit me.
Okay, cool. So I was driving up the highway back. I'd flown in from somewhere. I was driving back up the Pacific Highway after a trip, and all of a sudden into my brain popped this, you should be doing cosmetic tattooing of eyebrows. Just totally out of nowhere.
It's very niche.
Very niche. It's exactly what came into my brain. And I went home and I got out the computer and I had to Google whether I could actually train to do it. And yes, I could. But that wasn't my decision. look, you can all think what you want about this. But that came to me out of absolutely nowhere. And you know what? I'm living my best life now, and I am so happy, and I make people so happy every day that it's meant to be.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. Like,
it's cool. It's woo-woo. Often people look at me and go, yeah, whatevs, but that's what happens.
But it's such a random thought.
So random.
Coming into your head that you go, I think I've got to pay attention to it.
I had to pay attention to it because it was so random. And I was very quiet about it for a long time. I didn't tell anybody. And then we were overseas, and we were somewhere in France in the countryside, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and we were sitting outside, and my husband had a beer, and I thought, you're relaxed, I can tell you this now. And he just turned to me and said, if that's what you want to do, then do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did when I got home,
Yeah. How long did it take to train?
A long time. So you can just go off and do a 2-day course and then start practicing on people's faces. But God. I know, it's a bit scary. But about a year I did training, courses and practicing for a long time,
Yeah. And do you reckon you're still, like, learning now?
Oh, every day. I like to learn. I'm a big researcher. I'm a reader. I do courses, I Google, I read. So, yes, it's the answer.
So
absolutely.
You're always improving, always trying to be your better self, really.
Yeah, my betterest.
My betterest, mate. Okay, I've got 3 questions, and then I'll let you get on with your day. Okay. Question 1, what websites have you signed up to that you actually find value in receiving their emails?
Someone that you and I both know, Kate Toon.
Yay,
I love
Kate.
Yeah. Kate's I love. Getting back to my probably Google obsession at the moment, I get a lot of the Google tips and tricks and actually read them.
I didn't realise I did an email out.
Yeah, dude, every day you can get one.
Oh, God, okay.
Yeah, get in there and have a look.
I will.
There's a lot of case studies which I quite like because even though you are not Airbnb, the process that they've used is can be quite useful. It's the way they've gone through that. And what else? Let's just say my Audible, because I like Audible. And they send me nice new books that I'd like to read.
You also said SourceBottle for PR, which is really good.
SourceBottle is fantastic. I love SourceBottle, and I get a lot of exposure through SourceBottle. And I'm actually this afternoon going to do I'm going to sign up because it's only $22 a month to be a contributor. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
I've got a lot of exposure through SourceBottle just by answering
questions.
Yeah.
Because you're an expert in a particular area, and it's very I've seen it come up. What's one piece of advice you would give your pre-baby self?
Yes. Look, seriously, it's not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is. Okay.
You know what I mean? You think you know everything, but you don't know anything.
Oh, yeah. You become not stupider the older you get, but, like, the more aware of what you don't know.
Yeah.
The older you get. Because in my 20s, I knew everything. Just ask me.
I knew everything.
And now I'm like, I'm an expert in nothing.
Yeah.
Ask
but
Google.
also, but I think it's nice as you get older because you can say, I don't know.
Yeah,
you don't have to pretend you know. You just say, I don't know, or I'll find out. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah, honesty. Honesty's great.
Yeah.
And the final question I have is it's probably been a while now, obviously, but what was the most useful or useless baby item you had?
Yeah, you know.
It's kind of not relevant, is it?
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, pass. Well, Jane, thank you so much for the chat this morning. No, it's now this afternoon. Just afternoon. Yeah, just.
Yeah.
5 past 12.
Thank you, Jackie.
Beautiful. Awesome.
That was fun. It was lots of fun.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know and also subscribe to the iTunes channel and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork.